channel, absolutely. And I have something in my eyebrow. Ooh, okay, better. So if you like ASMR, just follow my channel. And I talk about Sadia Khan now. I do have a main channel, J Costa English, where I talk about Sadia Khan and how she's been exposed. And she basically, okay, I'm gonna explain the whole situation so people understand it, because there's a couple of things to unpack. So the first thing is Sadia Khan psychology. She is a person that rose to fame on the internet, a little bit like Andrew Tate. She joined a lot of podcasts, and in those podcasts she basically talked about relationship advice, dating advice, especially for men, and then she started offering coaching for men, and she's become very famous. And the reason she became very famous is kind of obvious, because there was no one in that space that was just giving, that was like, in quotation marks, a beautiful woman with a nice voice that was giving kind of dating advice for men. And the way she did said things, and the way she, talk about these things sometimes were a little bit controversial, or some people agreed, some people didn't agree, and that created also like that kind of like algorithmic push for her. And I think she activated for a lot of men kind of like this kind of like person that you could trust with, dating advice and stuff like that. So a lot of unsure men came to her and asked her basically for advice, or were listening to the podcast. I personally, for me, it's very difficult to listen to her voice for a longer time. It's not because I don't like her accent or that I can't look at her in terms of looks, but I never felt like that she has high competence in what she does. That's my personal opinion. And so what happened is that then an audio leak came out where she apparently says that that she's, the side chick of a married guy, and she's telling the wife or some woman, she's telling, that she could blow his dick anytime, that she could have sex with him anytime, at any moment, even the day on their wedding and stuff like that. And that, of course, is totally against, what a professional therapist, happy Teacher's Day. Today's Teacher's Day. Oh, that's interesting. That's what a professional therapist definitely shouldn't do, especially if they talk about, high value men, high value women, what makes a high value man, high value woman, and so forth. And that she's absolutely like exposed. Okay, that's one thing. The second thing, and this one I 100% know because it happened to me with her. So before everyone else knew about it, I posted a video a year ago warning about Sadia Khan. So an even month before that, I already knew something is off, and I went onto her Instagram and I called her out on something. It wasn't something big, it wasn't something harsh or something like that. It was just like, I think this. I don't remember what it was, but it was just calling her out on something. And the result was I got massively attacked by her or some team member in her comments. And the interesting thing is, I wasn't the only one. I saw like others where she was like super aggressive, and this is also now coming out, and this I know for a fact because it happened to me directly from her or a team member to me. And I was like, okay, this is a little bit overreacting. I was like, okay, for someone who is that famous. The thing is, if you are this famous, it doesn't even make that much sense to respond to people individually. So I don't know what her thing is about, attacking people individually. Like when you have 1 million viewers on a video, like why would you go in the comment and attack people personally? It makes literally, you just undermine your whole business, your whole thing. I don't know, but now it's definitely coming to the surface. Everything. And the third thing, which I cannot prove because I'm not involved there, but there is a new YouTuber who said it's 100%. She could never prove that she actually has a degree that is kind of like she never wanted to confess to that she doesn't have a degree to do this work kind of professionally in that sense, like as a psychotherapist or psychologist. And I don't think she necessarily needs to, depending on the country where she is, but I think in Dubai you need to somehow. And she always deflected somehow, so that's what he described. She always deflected and never proved anything. The thing is that she can, at any time, any point in time, she can go online with a video and just, you know, say how it is. But even her webpage, when you look at her webpage, there's nothing on there. There's just like book my book my sessions, but there's nothing about who she is, where she comes from, nothing. I couldn't see it, at least. And that's kind of weird. Like, her whole positioning, everything is kind of very off, very unprofessional. And it reminds me a little bit like this. We could call it like a podcast simping. I think I coined a new term, podcast simping. Podcast simping is basically when you are a podcaster and you have a woman on just because she's beautiful and talks nicely, but she has no real competence, and you give her a platform and she becomes internationally known. You basically podcast simped her. Yeah. And I think it was mostly men that took her into podcast studios. Maybe Pearl once, I don't know. But it's like, come on. I mean, like one guy said, if you have 1 million subscribers or more, you should be doing background checks on the people that you let on your podcast. That's kind of true. I don't remember what all the podcasts she was on, but I think it was mostly men. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I can check out my main channel, J Costa English, if you want to be updated on Sadia Khan information. And I just wanted to see what happens if I do like an ASMR video on this.